I've followed AMA since they started, and I've always been really interested in what they do and always wanted to be a part of it, but I've got such a busy life anyway that I'd never had the opportunity to volunteer. So when the job came up, I just thought, oh my goodness, this is just exactly what I want to do and where I want to be.
I volunteered before I did it as a job, and then I was saying, even when we were volunteering, I was like, I just need more time to be able to do this because there's so much more that I could be doing and I can't because I have to work full time. And so now I can do that, and I can do so much more because I have the time to do it.
What it means to me is that I get to do something that I really love and that I'm really passionate about as my job. It was a kind of a nice transition, and now we've been doing it for a year now. It does mean a lot because it's something that's we're so like hands-on, we're so client-facing, and we're so involved in people's lives, which is such an honour, especially at that sort of time in their life where it's like such a special moment and can be so vulnerable, and we get to be there and build relationships and build support sort of structures for people. Going from a volunteer to being a petal, it just sort of takes on another dimension, because some of the things I would do, for example, supporting at a birth if needed, or doing some birth preparation with somebody or a birth plan, I would do as a volunteer as well. Whereas other things like sort of looking at the overall support plan for each client, making referrals for them, thinking about what other things we might be able to, or what other places we might be able to signpost them to that would support them. For example, those are some things that you wouldn't really do as a volunteer.
I would explain my job as being a whole mash of lots of different things. I think the main one is obviously working with families and working very closely with mums who are about to have babies or have just had babies, working so closely with the volunteers that are on the teams, with the parents, which is super important. And it's just a bit like a jigsaw, like all the little pieces all fit together. And we support them to do birth preparation, to make sure that they know their rights in childbirth, and advocate for them sometimes at hospital appointments. And I've been to quite a few births now, which is amazing and just such a privilege to be in that space with someone when they're going through just a life-changing experience.
Maybe not historically, but now the concept of a doula is just not even known to a lot of people. They're just like, what even is that? Because it is such a minority that can actually, choose to have a doula. And so we do have to explain the role to people, like, what is it that you do? Because they just don't understand. It is just giving something that maybe would have existed traditionally in, a smaller village culture that we just don't have anymore. But actually it wouldn't have been fancy, it was just what people did.
We're filling a gap where obviously their friends and family would normally be there, so we've got their midwives, their health visitors, they might have social work supporting them, they might have other organisations, but we come in a very different angle where we're there just to help lift them up and hold them and nurture them the way that their parents or their siblings or their friends would, which is lovely.
Once upon a time when I was a nanny, I was sort of paid to have that warm-heartedness and that love for my job, but it was only for people that could really afford it. And now I have the opportunity to give that to people who are not able to afford it, which is most people, but especially those that really, really need it. So that's, I think, one of the big things as well that it means for me is, like, sure, there was that time where I could do this whenever as a job, and I still could go back to it if I wanted to, but I don't, because I want to give it to people that need it.
We get on so well. We can all really feel each other when we maybe need a little bit of support, and we help each other out in that way, and or just even like because we are dealing with similar situations or similar feelings, and so we can relate to each other in such a good way. I think we're just really lucky that we have each other, that we all get on so well and we can have that nice connection.